Hello, I'm Marcus V. Calvert, and welcome to Tales Unlimited, the disturbing thought of the day. A bit of an oopsie, diplomatically speaking. You're part of a diplomatic team, and you're like not even the main person. You're just there, right? An advisor of sorts amongst advisors, and there's a serious mess here. Basically, a pharmaceutical company has been kidnapping Atlanteans along different parts of the world and basically harvesting their blood and DNA to make like next generation pharmaceuticals. They've been raking in billions of dollars, killing innocent Atlanteans, and some of their most recent victims just happen to be royalty. Now, in the comic books, this would be a war. Well, what they decide to do is instead leave. They actually had plans to like reform the glaciers and keep the water levels at a reasonable level and save us because they kind of like us. I mean, yes, we're messy, yes, we pollute, but they actually have underwater cities and they can keep their water lanes clear, everything of whatever, so they can basically keep our pollution near us, and their waters are clean. And they were okay with us being us. And maybe someday they would have made themselves known to us, but then this happened. So Atlanteans, as it turned out, are not from here. They found this world, found that we were a cousin race, and were intrigued, and basically built up under the ocean. And there were some brief contacts, and that's where the Atlantean myth came from. So now, out of disgust, they basically have just notified us that they're going to leave us to our fate. As a matter of fact, they're not just going to leave us to our fate. They're basically going to destroy all of their cities in once on their way out. Like they have ships that they kept, like, I guess, tucked away in case of an emergency, like an asteroid or something. So they're literally going to abandon all of their cities, go into their ships, leave, and on the way out, blow up their cities along fault lines. It's sort of a quiet FU to us. And body count could be in the billions. And we're trying to persuade them not to do this. But they're not listening. So in this world without superheroes, we're about to reap what we sow unless we can persuade them otherwise. And that's when you come across a really dark idea. Problem is, the Americans would never do it. I mean, you're American, it's wrong. Fortunately, there are UN delegations, and you just find an excuse to step off for coffee with some of the more, shall we say, ruthless regimes, and you talk to some of their guys who are also quaking in their boots because some of them live along fault lines or out in the middle of the ocean where maybe these cities are. They don't even know where they are. And they basically, you whisper, and they whisper to their bosses, and eventually someone shouts your idea. It's like, well, I have an idea. How we can make peace happen. And the Atlantean ambassador is like, what? The people who profited from this, the people who are responsible, the entire board of this company, every member, we put them all to death. You'll have your revenge. Many, 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 many times over. And in return, we also promised that any Atlantean who ever dies will be avenged a thousandfold. A thousandfold. Hmm. Well, the Atlantean's like, now that's what I like. A good, simple solution. Very well. Kill them all. Kill everyone who benefited from them. Kill their families. Kill their children. We actually had a list of their names right here. We're waiting for someone to show promise. And here's the problem. The country that came up with this is an enemy of the United States. And they're like, you know what? I think you should run the world. Yeah, skip this whole UN thing. You take over the planet. What excuse me? It's not even like a large country. It's not like China or somebody. It's like, no, it's like, the US or, like a superpower country, somebody with a massive population, like, India maybe could run the world, or maybe like, Brazil has a population theoretically. No, no, no. This is a country with a much smaller population, right? And like a tenth of America's population, if that. And they've just been handed the endorsement of really, really advanced aliens who don't like us much anymore. And so we may have to play by their rules for a while until things smooth over. How's that for creepy? All right, I'm Marcus V. Calvert. This is Tales Unlimited. Please check out talesunlimited.net. That's where the podcasts are, two of them. There is the Battery Daily Prompt and a Disturbing Thought of the Day. I put them out every day. Also, there is, let's see, 4 series out there that you can find on Amazon. Just go to talesunlimited.net, hit the links, take you straight there. Ebooks, print books, reasonably priced. So what are these series about? Well, there is the Battery series, 200 writing prompts, a little wisdom on how to write that first novel. It's for first-time novelists who may have wasted too many years trying to write that first novel. Well, Battery comes with a system. Follow it through. It'll make you a better writer. It'll help you start your business, sell books, make money, build your fan base, all that while you're working on your first novel. How's that for a how-to book? Also, on top of that, you can basically say there are 200 pieces of story fuel for storytellers of any stripe. So, evil GM, short story writer, game designer, comic book writer, screenwriter, grizzled novelist. Battery's got something for you. Just take something and twist it to your ends. Also, there are 2 different anthology series, short stories, 25 stories to each book in each series. One is called Unheroics, about unlikely heroes saving the day. Like, what if a disgraced spy falls in love, lets her go, and by doing so, indirectly causes 9/11 to happen. Like if he had killed her, 9/11 would not have happened, guaranteed. So folks are after him. He's considered a rogue asset. He's hunted, and he has this unique power, and he uses it to kill people. And now his old boss comes at him with a chance to come back into the light, to stop running. All he has to do is kill a little girl, and maybe save millions doing so. Or the Book of Schemes. It's about schemes, diabolical, twisted, strange, whatever. What if the Shaolin didn't develop their fighting styles, but they learned it from an elemental race, and they cut a pact with them to basically protect their kids? Well, they leave on a celestial migration, they come back, their kids are gone, and unless the Shaolin can explain what happened to those kids, they're going to destroy the planet. That's how I write. Also, there is a novel series called I, Villain. Think of it as supervillain fiction or Sin City with superpowers, told from the perspective of Benjamin Clyde, gentleman fixer, dude in a suit. Pay this guy enough money, he taps his army of mercs, 400 plus basically, of the best on the planet. So they're either really well skilled, they have really cool powers, or they're a bit of both, and he uses them like a chess master. He has worked all sides of the law, and then one night he's forced to shut it all down. No more minions, no more money, clothes on his back, ash. On top of that, he is forced to fight crime in a place worse than Gotham. So if he skips a night, he dies, leaves town, he dies, anyone helps him, they die. And since he's just a dude with a burger gut and a phone, they figure he won't last a week. Well, he has a Black Ops past, he has skill sets, and he has superpowers he told no one about. So he starts saving the day. And then he ends up saving the world. And then he turns it into a business because there aren't a lot of heroes left. And his business model is kill the worst villains, take their stuff. And the worst villains tend to be billionaires, right? So, I mean, we're talking like Bond villains with tons of cash. So that is I, Villain. I'm working on another series, maybe even a few more, but that's what I have for now. All right, I'm Marcus V. Calvert. This is Tales Unlimited. See you tomorrow.